The Nazca Lines are enigmatic and fascinating formations found in the Nazca Desert of Peru. These lines were made between 500 BC and 500 BC and usually consist of patterns such as birds, animals, human figures, and geometric shapes. One of their most interesting features is that they can only be recognized from the air. From the ground, these large drawings are hardly recognizable, but from the air they are clear and impressive. This suggests that the Nazca people's observational skills, and possibly their experience of looking from the sky, were instrumental in the creation of these enormous drawings. How and why these lines were made remains a mystery. Some think they were made for religious or astronomical purposes, but there is no definitive explanation yet. The Nazca Lines are still a great work of discovery and understanding for scientists and archaeologists. The Nazca Lines consist of more than 300 large drawings, usually found in the Nazca and Palpa regions. These drawings usually depict animals, plants, geometric shapes and human figures. The size and complexity of the drawings are quite astonishing as they were made with simple tools used at the time. One of the most interesting aspects of these lines is that there is a great mystery as to why and how they were made. Some theories suggest that these lines were associated with religious rituals or celestial observations. Others think that these drawings symbolize belief in water sources or were made for rituals. However, no definitive explanation has been found. Nevertheless, the preservation of these lines is of great importance. Tourism, environmental impacts and other factors can cause damage to these ancient formations over time. For this reason, constant efforts are being made to preserve the Nazca Lines and pass them on to future generations. They remain a mysterious piece of humanity's past and are still a great subject of research for archaeologists. Of course, the techniques used to create the Nazca Lines are quite remarkable. These large and intricate patterns were created by removing sand and pebbles from the surface. By removing the top layer, the more differently colored soil underneath is exposed, thus creating the drawings. The preservation of these drawings is attributed to the relatively stable and rain-free desert climate. The fact that natural factors such as rain and wind do not damage these patterns has ensured their preservation. However, in modern times it is becoming increasingly difficult to preserve these lines. High-intensity tourism can cause damage or erosion of the drawings. In addition, environmental factors and human activity can also damage these ancient artifacts. For this reason, constant efforts are being made to preserve the drawings and pass them on to future generations. Archaeologists and scientists continue to work to preserve the mystery and significance of these lines. The Nazca Lines are the general name given to the lines, some of them kilometers long, drawn on the ground in the Nazca Desert in southern Peru, depicting some form of life or various geometric shapes. The ground on which the lines are drawn or scratched is covered with gravel, which iron oxide gives its gray color. The shapes of straight lines, triangles, spirals, birds, monkeys, dogs, spiders, flowers, etc. are so large that they cannot be seen from the ground, but can be seen from a great height. This is why the shapes of some of them appear more distinct in satellite photographs. The first Nazca line was discovered in 1926. It is not known who drew them and when, but they are certainly older than the Inca civilization in the 12th century. They are dated between 200 BC and 700 AD. Some are thought to be related to the calendar or astronomy, while others were made as part of nature rituals, but there is no definitive data on their purpose. The extremely arid climate of the region has helped to keep these lines intact to this day. According to some, it is impossible for the Nazca Lines to be drawn uniformly without being viewed from a height.